There's nothing quite as visceral, energizing or groovy as a drum solo. Whether it's a technical explosion of fills, flams and chops or a low-key rhythmic exploration that touches your soul, I thought I should try to list the 7 best drum solos of all time. I've sifted through various articles, videos and forums to take a look at as many candidates as possible. For clarity, I'll only be listing solos from a recorded studio album, so no live performances, and basis of selection will take into account the importance, innovation and creativity of the solo, along with a little sprinkling of my own personal preference. So without further ado, let's get into it. We start with the oldest solo on the list, Krupa on Leave Us Leap. First released in the 1950s, this track is a great representation of Krupa's influence on the drums as one of the earliest icons of the instrument. Sharp and tight technique mixed with syncopation, dynamism and phrasing makes this solo very important given when it was played. To add more context as to why Krupa is so important, here's Neil Peart in 2015 speaking to NPR. Without Krupa, there wouldn't have been a Keith Moon. He was the first drummer to command the spotlight and the first drummer to be celebrated for his solos because they were very flamboyant. He did fundamentally easy things but always made them look spectacular. At number 6 we have Keith Moon's iconic solo on The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again. Instantly recognisable from one of the wildest drummers there ever was, this solo is one of the defining moments of The Who's discography. Prefacing one of rock's most memorable screams by Roger Daltrey, Keith Moon's solo is uncharacteristically restrained and deliberate, functioning purposefully to build the mood before the huge release. Staying in 1960s-70s rock era England, we have Ginger Baker's solo on the Cream song Toad. Touted by some music historians and critics as one of the first real rock solos ever recorded on vinyl, Ginger Baker takes up most of the song to showcase his impressive jazz-influenced chops before wrapping up and reintroducing his 2 bandmates to finish off the amazing track. I go into more detail about Ginger Baker's style and career in a video essay I released on him a while back, which you can check out in the top right hand corner now. At number 4 we have Mr. Neil Peart and his solo on Tom Sawyer by Rush. I had a real dilemma as to whether I wanted to pick the solo on YYZ or Tom Sawyer, and in the end I went with the latter as I think it's just a great display of his musicianship and virtuosity. It's super technical but executed with such ease, and I love the sound of his drums. There's such clarity and crispness to the bass drum and toms. Brief interlude to give a shout out and encourage as many new viewers to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. This year I've been trying to post videos as regularly as possible. They do take a while to make and I'm balancing the channel with my regular job, so please do subscribe if you haven't already and consider supporting me by donating to my Ko-fi page. You can find a link in the description. Thanks. At number 3 we have James Brown's Funky Drummer and Clyde Stubblefield's solo at around 5 minutes. Some people may take issue with this choice because it's perhaps more of a drum break rather than solo, but I think compositionally the drums are given the spotlight, all the other instruments cut out, and it's just so good I had to include it. This short excerpt of the song is often said to be the most sampled piece of music ever, and I'm not surprised. Other solos on this list have earned their place through importance or technique, but groove and feel are what make Stubblefield's solo so good. It's really magical stuff. In second place we have the great Steve Gadd and his legendary solo on Steely Dan's Asia. So much has been said about this album and this solo in particular, and it really is a landmark. Gadd demonstrates why he was one of the best and most sought after drummers in the world. His chops and timekeeping are out of this world. When you also consider the solo reshaped how drum solos were perceived in mainstream rock, and that it was reportedly all improvised, it further cements its position in the list. If you want to learn more about Steve Gadd, you can find my video essay on him in the top right hand corner now. Before we reach the summit of this drum solo peak, I wanted to list a few honourable mentions. Joe Morello's tidy solo on Dave Brubeck's jazz hit Take 5, the great Art Blakey on Night in Tunisia, Carl Palmer's off-the-wall solo in Carn Evil 9, and Buddy Rich for no solo in particular. He was just an incredible soloist. There could really only be one person in the #1 spot for the best drum solo of all time. It's John Bonham's solo on the track Moby Dick by Led Zeppelin. This really is the quintessential drum solo performed by one of the greatest that ever sit behind the kit. Bonham is a flurry of flams, fills and rudiments. He showcases his trademark Bonham triplets he plays with his hands, and although the album version of the solo is around just 2 minutes, it would often go on for more than 20 minutes during live performances. There we go, the 7 best drum solos of all time. Please do let me know what you think down below, if I've missed any out or if you disagree with the order. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Cheers.